Pittwater.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today to address a critical and escalating crisis that's deeply impacting the Pittwater electorate, our local economy and our coastal community. The summer has been exceptionally difficult for Sydney-siders and the Northern Beaches in particular in relation to sharks and shark attacks. I firstly want to thank the government for the significant investment, $4.2 million most recently, for modern drone technology and the announcement that all beaches on the Northern Beaches, or at least most of them, will be covered during patrol hours. We have more eyes in the sky than ever. There are some concerns that some beaches people haven't seen drones and there does need to be better management, but very appreciative of the modern technologies. However, I am deeply concerned, as are surfers, that there are more and more shark encounters. And I've received a lot of correspondence, even in just the last couple of days, in addition to a survey that I put out recently that was specifically aimed at surfers and fishermen, fishers rather, where I'm conscious that surfers don't necessarily get the benefit before and after patrol hours when they're surfing of the drones. That feedback from that survey, before I go on to that correspondence, was stark. So about 700 respondents, 67% are very, very concerned about the shark incidences and the number of sharks. 56% are avoiding the water more. And that's huge in a community that literally needs the water every day. And a lot of parents have contacted me about the mental health impacts of when their kids can't surf or get in the water. The incidences that I'm concerned about are so frequent at the moment, being shark encounters, that my community has even created their own spreadsheet, the surfing community, to document the encounters, and they've provided that to me, and unfortunately it's being added to every day. Some of those are reported on the SharkSmart app, others are just seen by surfers, and there's no mechanism for them to report other than through this spreadsheet. I wanted to read from a couple of emails because people who have written to me put it so eloquently. So firstly, this is from a mother who witnessed surfing at Warriewood Beach only 2 days ago. She noted that there were no drones and jet skis in operation at the time, and she does believe that jet skis and drones are essential tools to keep the water users safe. She wonders what will happen to our beaches in winter when there are no lifeguards on patrol. She describes how she's completely torn because she encourages her children to surf for the fun of it, for the competition, it's part of their life, but she's getting to a point where she feels she questions whether she's an irresponsible parent for letting him go in. She's not pretending to be a scientist or an expert, but I think the one thing I'm hearing from surfers is they do want citizen science to be listened to. And she specifically says, we are asking for transparent research from experts about shark numbers and movements, funding for jet skis and drones equipped with shark spotting technology even through the winter, remove fishing limits for bull sharks, a targeted cull of bull sharks around Sydney beaches and estuaries, and research into complementary strategies to reduce the number of sharks close to shore. I've also heard from parents, particularly in the board riders community, and a local resident, and I'll quote again from one local resident, "We have a bull shark crisis. Real action needs to be taken before more people are attacked. Human life should be prioritised over bull sharks." Another writes, "For me and the vast majority of others within our community, it's another clear reminder that the current approach simply isn't keeping the risk at an acceptable level." And goes on to say, Australia already accepts that wildlife management sometimes requires population control to protect human life or native species and manage ecological sustainability. We do this with crocodiles in the north, brumbies in the alpine regions, and kangaroos in several states. And when numbers become unsafe or unsustainable, it's reasonable that similar evidence-based conversations should be at least on the table for shark populations, especially those species most often linked to serious incidences. The writer goes on to mention Reunion Island and some of the strategies there, and acknowledges also that Reunion Island in South Africa, there was a period when people were told not to go in the water. However, they did create a shark mitigation program, and since then they have not had an attack since 2019. The writer says, "I'm asking that you advocate for transparent, science-driven, community-informed discussion about available shark management options, including population control for high-risk species. We don't need forums where professionals talk at us. We need a balanced strategy that protects marine environment while also restoring safety confidence." To my community, that's what I'm doing here today, this week, next week in Parliament. I'm raising these concerns not only on the floor of Parliament, but also in ministerial offices and with the Premier, and I'm talking to colleagues from different parties with differing opinions. This is good and healthy debate. It's just the beginning, and I'll take this matter up again next week.